Welcome back to SB Nation. My name is Dan Rubenstein, and I'm here once again with NFL League expert Brad Wells, the boo-boo to my Yogi. Wearing Jets green, of course, probably by accident. To talk about the gentleman behind me, Tim Tebow. What the hell happened yesterday? I don't know what. First, here's how I'm going to phrase the first question for you. What happened yesterday? Why did it happen? How did it happen contractually with the trade?
Loaded question. I'll do my best to try and bring it all out. Basically what happened was yesterday the Broncos and the Jets agreed to a trade for Tim Tebow. The Broncos were going to trade draft picks, a 4th and a 6th for Tebow. What ended up happening is they agreed in principle to the trade, and then the Jets actually tweeted out and let the media know, hey, we're going to get Tim Tebow. And then what happened is they realized that part of this trade resulted in them absorbing $5 million of Tebow's contract from the Broncos in salary advances. And the Jets at that point then went, whoa, wait a minute. We don't want to take that kind of money. And then the joke around league circles and in the media was, what, did the Jets just not read the contract? So there was a balk by the Jets.
Right.
There was arguing back and forth. And then the Jaguars then jumped in and said, hey, we'd like Tim Tebow.
Yes.
And what ended up eventually happening is the Jets and the Broncos finally agreed on the trade. They agreed on the draft picks, and they split the money with Tebow. The Broncos absorbed half, and the Jets absorbed half. So the Jets now have Tim Tebow.
Were the Jets a preference for Tim Tebow, and that's why the Broncos went in that direction?
That's debatable.
Right.
There was discussion last night that Tim Tebow was going to pick the team that he wanted to go to, Jacksonville or New York. Tim Tebow has a lot of connections to Jacksonville and Florida. So the thought was he was going to pick Jacksonville. But he went to the Jets, which leads someone like me to believe that I don't think Tebow had any sort of say in this. The Broncos went with the team that offered them the most. And from what we know, the Jets offered more than the Jaguars.
And here's a three-parter to make your life very easy. How does he fit in with the team interpersonally, the Jets? How does he fit in with the proposed scheme? I know you mentioned that the Jets have mentioned how they allegedly use him. And how does he fit in with our grand city, New York?
Well, their new offensive coordinator is Tony Sparano.
Right.
Tony Sparano ran the Wildcat offense in Miami when he was the head coach. So on the media call last night, the Miami Dolphins, their general manager, Sparano, they all used the word Wildcat like 15 times. So I think it's fairly safe to say that they're going to use Tim Tebow in the Wildcats. So I think that's how he's going to fit within the team.
But can they? I'll interrupt you right there. They haven't really run the Wildcat.
They've never. Well, they did used to run
Mark
it.
Sanchez is a drop back guy.
Absolutely.
So it's a duality now.
They used to run it when Brad Smith was in New York.
Right.
So that was a long time ago.
Right.
And with Sanchez there, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Correct.
So from a schematic standpoint, this is a very odd trade.
Okay.
It seems this trade was just to grab headlines. And Tebow in New York, Tebow's a very dynamic player. Here in New York, he's going to grab a lot of headlines.
And so are you comfortable with the Jets being better when we talk again this time next year?
I don't know. I actually don't see this making them better. The only way I can see this making them better is if getting Tebow lights a fire under Sanchez and Sanchez goes out there and starts to play better.
There you go. Tim Tebow is a decoy. That is Brad Wells. V-Net game still very much on point. I am Dan Rubenstein. Do subscribe. We'll see you soon.